So today I want to talk about something I've been waiting to talk about for a while now, as to this very day I get a few comments asking me which hero do I believe needs to be reworked or improved next, or which hero I think will be reworked or improved next. Now keep in mind, this is just speculation and of course shouldn't be taken as fact, as we really have no idea what UB is actually working on, but I like speculating and talking about what I'd like to see and whatnot, so that's what I'm going to do today. As always though, I'd like to hear your opinion as well, so talk to me down in the comments and tell me what you think. Now let's not waste any more time and get right into it. So when we look at the cast, we see that all of the original 12 heroes have had some sort of improvement or hero update throughout the seasons. Season 5 we saw the Kensei, Conk, and Berserker changes, along with Highlander and Ibushi. In Season 6 we saw Orochi get some improvements and Peacekeeper got something done, but you know how that turned out. In Season 7 we got the Warden and Valkyrie rework. In Season 9, along with Vortiger, we saw PK get revisited, Warlord get some improvements, and Shigoki got his rework. And then of course here in Season 10 we got the now infamous Raider rework and the Lawbringer improvements. So all of the OG heroes have gotten some sort of work. There are a few I want to see get revisited sometime in the future, like Nabushi, Warlord, Valkyrie, Orochi, and PK for like the third time, as I really want to see those heroes become a bit more exciting to play. Anyways, now that these heroes have all been looked at in some way, I think it's safe to say that we'll be seeing some of the Year 1 DLC heroes get some sort of work, as let's face it, a few of them are falling behind as heroes continue to get better, although I do think Shaman is fine for the most part. She's held up pretty well since her release. Now the two heroes I really want to be reworked or improved are of course Centurion and Aramusha, but I do believe that maybe one more hero could be looked at, that being Shinobi. Sure, there are still a few other heroes that need work, but I do believe Centurion and Aramusha are next in line, or at least I hope they are. I'm pretty confident that Centurion will certainly be receiving changes next season. Not sure if it'll be a full-blown rework or just, the Raider treatment where he just gets stronger and faster. I do believe that Cent already has a few things that UB can work with. I'm sure tons of people are excited for Centurion to be improved. He's easily one of the most popular heroes in For Honor due to his unique style and of course great fashion. UB sort of hinted in the past that if things worked out with Shigoki, we could see some of these changes make their way onto Centurion. Again, my guess being the later feint from the Charged Heavies, and maybe a soft feint of some sort. But after I thought about it, they could have also been talking about a few of the things they were working on with Hitokiri. I'd assume Hitokiri was being worked on back then anyways. Cent could use some of the things that the Hitokiri has, of course without all the hyper armor. They'd want to create heroes that force a reaction, and whether you like Hitokiri or not, you've got to admit that she does force some sort of reaction from her opponents, even if that reaction happens to be an unlock roll. Going from using Hitokiri or even Shigoki, it feels strange not being able to feint later into your unblockable with Centurion. I think we all know what sort of flaws Centurion currently has, and it'll be interesting to see how UB decides to handle him moving forward, just because I really want Cent to be fun to use. I'm not saying he needs a complete overhaul or anything like that, but I'd love to see Centurion be more of a melee specialist and sort of want to see UB play around with that identity. I'd like to see Cent be able to punch, kick, and especially grab more, as I thought that was really cool when we first saw his reveal so long ago. I'd like him to be an up-in-your-face bully and not get most of his damage from chip or of course the cutscene. One move I really want to see become somewhat useful is quick throw. I've always liked quick throw. I like the way it looks, but right now it's not all too useful. I don't see it land often at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see the jab become feintable sometime in the future, the same way that Hitokiri's kick is feintable. And I think that we all know that the zone attack is going to see some sort of improvement by, of course, making it feintable. If they don't make it feintable, I'll be a bit confused unless they completely change the zone attack, but I don't think that'll happen. I'm surprised they haven't made it feintable already though. There are a few other things that could be looked at, like of course his kick, and making this cutscene not deal so much damage and take up so much time. I really want to see Centurion become a good hero, and I really want him to be fun because he is such an awesome hero and I want to use him. I don't really want him to get the Raider treatment because I like his animations a lot, and I wouldn't want them to look strange because they're sped up, and because I'm not the biggest fan of a power increase and a speed buff, because that's a tad boring, but if it happens, it happens. Next hero I want to see get some love is of course the ultra fashionable Aramusha. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, when we first saw Aramusha during his reveal, I was a bit disappointed with his appearance. I really had no idea what I was expecting. At the time, I guess I was just wanting an Orochi but with 2 blades instead of 1, and despite his playstyle not being the most exciting, I did have fun with him for a bit during his release season. But as time went on, people learned how to fight against him and have learned how to avoid taking damage against Aramusha, which puts him in a tough spot. Against new players, he can crush them with his fast soft feints and infinite chain, which can confuse newer players or players who aren't too into the game. But against anyone that's been around for a bit, or they play pretty frequently, or took a little time to learn how to fight against the character, he doesn't pose too much of a threat in a lot of situations, as you can either block most of what's coming or back dodge away from his finishers, although there are some cases where back dodge doesn't win. If you feel threatened by his finishers though, you can still just get away. In team modes, he does clear minions really fast and does admittedly have some pretty solid feats. His dueling problems arise in any 1v1 situation, and while ganking, he can't really help out his teammates or set them up, as the opponent doesn't really even have to look at Aramusha. He can do a whole bunch of feints and throw out his zone to start messing around with his opponents and try to get their guard moving. When he's being ganked, he's not too dangerous even if he pops revenge, and it's not like he's going to be moving around too fast because his walk speed is really slow. It may look and sound cool, but I can't really think of a situation where it helps Aramusha out. Honestly, I also really want to see those full block options be unlocked, or at least allow Aramusha to use them in some other situations, like the kick or my favorite, ring the bell. I really want to see ring the bell act as some sort of grab like Highlander's toss. I don't know why, but I really like that move. Now, one of the ways I see Aramusha not getting some sort of improvement is because he performs sort of well when we look at the win matrix and whatnot, but knowing that Yubi doesn't only use the great data for decisions, I don't think that'd be the case. Maybe Yubi could feel that there's another hero more deserving of a rework or update and just pass by Aramusha this season. I'm not really sure who that hero could be, but you never know. Anything could happen. Maybe we might just get one hero update per season from here on out. Who really knows other than the people working on the game? Or maybe the escape changes that are on the way will improve Aramusha. It really depends exactly what they're working on and how they'll implement it, but if it affects how back dodges and rolls work, it could help Aramusha, or at least I'd assume so. And one more possibility is if Yubi decides to really work on Shinobi, maybe we could see them work in order from the first set of DLC heroes to the last, starting with Season 2 and then moving on to Season 3 and 4. Who knows? Honestly, maybe we could see all 3 of these heroes being reworked next season. I know in the past I've said that I really want Shinobi to be reworked, and I mean that's still true. Shinobi just doesn't make sense and has a kit that just doesn't work with this game to me. I know that Yubi will be working on backflip one day and making his sickle rain interruptible like all the other ganks, but then that just takes away or nerfs 2 of his tools without compensating him in any way. Then there's still range guard break, the high damage values, and great mobility. I think that Shinobi does need a true rework, like a full-blown rework, and turn him into something that everyone can enjoy, not just to use but also to go up against. I saw a few people pretty upset that Yubi was talking about working on backflip and sickle rain, but neither of those attacks are in the best spot right now. They're not too fun to go up against. I'd be pretty happy about some Shinobi changes, just try to bring him in line with the rest of the roster. We know that some changes are coming for sure, like the reflex guard buff and the backflip and sickle rain changes. I do admit though, I don't see many Shinobis anymore, no matter what game mode I play, so I don't have to deal with them too much. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I just wanted to talk about what I think we could see next season. As I said, I'd love to see some of the original heroes get maybe just one more look through, or at least a few updates, especially heroes like Valken Warlord because I really like them. But I'm glad that we can finally see some of the DLC heroes possibly get a rework now that we're done with the OGs. I know technically in Season 5 Highlander got some work, but I'd love to see a season dedicated to just DLC heroes. I think next season has a ton of potential. We've got the favorite Year 3 hero on the way, being the Hammer Viking, and we could potentially see another fan favorite get reworked, which is always nice as long as it's done right. I know I'm looking forward to next season a bunch anyways. I do want to hear what you guys think, so talk to me down in the comments about anything we talked about in this video. Tell me which of the heroes you think will get the next round of work, or just tell me what you'd like to see in an upcoming season. And as always, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.